you built the same way. Man, the struggle is a workout. It ain't easy lifting weight. You gotta curl through your family, curl through your friends. Keep your head above water. Let me teach you how to swim.
What's up? Welcome back to the podcast. THK podcast number 2. I'm drinking the morning coffee. I appreciate all the responses. All the responses about the last podcast. Seems like everybody liked it. If you got anything negative to say, don't hold back. I'll take all criticism, good and bad. So, again, I appreciate everybody for listening. I appreciate the likes. I appreciate the subscribers. I appreciate the views. I appreciate y'all. All right, I really do. So, just going off a couple things that I heard as far as responses from the last podcast. I did get some responses about Jeep and REDBOY. You know, as soon as I said that, I'm not gonna lie, I knew instantly. I was like, I'm gonna have to touch that subject. But that's cool though. That's cool because that means that there's new people that's interested. They want to know more. They want to know the history because they have a positive vibe with this breed, and they just, some of them want to be a part of it, and some just want to be a part. Just know the history to decide if they want to be a part of it. I guess you could say, and that's fine too. That's even better. So, with that said, I'm definitely gonna have to hit some REDBOY and Jeep talk. I'm not gonna do that this podcast. Sorry, guys, but I'll definitely do that. I'll do that for y'all. But like I said in the last one, going back to that type stuff, I mean, obviously, I'm not gonna even portray a role, make it seem like I was around in that era, in the time, because I was not. So the best I can do is tell you what my basic knowledge, as far as what I was told by a dog man who schooled me, or books I've read, or articles and things like that, so it's gonna be a whole bunch of quote, end quote type things. So I'll do that. I will do that. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to touch for this podcast, and I did some thinking. A big thing that I'm always explaining to people about this breed is the temperament, or how to raise them. Now this again is kind of going off of the first podcast. So now I'm just gonna get kind of deeper in raising the dogs. So the best way I can explain it, and that I was explained, the way I was explained, is the breed is it's like a loaded pistol with no safety. All right. Now that's not to scare people off. That's not to say that they're a threat. That's not to say, because if you're saying that, then we're getting into the whole gun activist, and we're going too far. Well, what I mean by that is these dogs, along with a few other breeds, let's not get it twisted. I'm not going to act like it's just this breed, but there's a few other ones that I can think of, at least one off top, and it's the same thing. They're loaded pistols with no safety. So what that means is the dog can be good as far as you never have a problem, an accident, or your dog jump on another dog, or even growl at another dog, or animal, I should say. period. And then next thing you know, it happens. And you don't know why it happened, how it happened, and you definitely don't know how to stop it. Now, all that mixed together is just a disaster waiting to happen. So I tell people this not to, again, portray that bad role of the breed, but so that they understand this breed has to be treated with respect. All right? This isn't the type of breed, along with a few others, where you could just train them and change their ways, change their drive, their confidence and all that. It's not going to happen. All right? Like I said, you may think it's happening, and you've been going good for a while now, but I promise you, one day, that trigger is going to pull on accident, and you're not going to know what to do. Hopefully that's not the case. Of course, I want everybody to know what to do, but so many times I've seen over and over again, from the videos y'all see online, from, just even the police dogs, when the dog bites down, and then now I done seen police officers damn near hitting the dog, trying to get the dog off the person and stuff, So what I'm saying is, trained or not, whether you train the dog to bite or train the dog not to bite, whatever you think you're doing, at the end of the day, the dog is still going to be a dog. This dog is still going to eat dog food and sniff in the grass and take a shit. All right? This is still going to be an animal. So the working breed, I'm going to say, the working breeds, you can't say, oh, I'm going to raise them from puppies in the pack and have them eating out the same bowl every day, and every time they growl, I'm going to get on to one of them, and I'm going to change the whole perspective of this breed or these breeds. You can't do that, because you're setting yourself up for failure, and then that's when that image comes back into play. Because now you got people thinking you're about to do something amazing, and then next thing you know, you have an accident, and either you got to lie about it or you got to explain that. Excuse me. So, just you got to be realistic with working breeds, all right? Don't get me wrong. Let me say this. I was one of them. And I was raised with this breed, and still, when I became, let's say 21, maybe 20, I was thinking, oh, I know how they are. I seen them. I seen that type of living or upbringing, I guess you could say, or, dog handling. I seen that type of dog handling. I want to try something different. I want to be like the bullies. You know what I mean? The American bullies. I want to open all the kennels and have them run and sit down for one dog bowl. Grown dogs. Sounds stupid, I know, but I went through that phase. And I promise you, there's people out there that's thinking that they can, change the history or whatever, I guess you could say. And don't get me wrong, I respected the dogs, I respected the history, I respected all that. I just thought I can do something new. I thought I can do something different. I thought I could, still preserve the breed, but I don't know what I was doing, to be honest with you, because it didn't work. So that's what I'm getting at. It's, you have to respect and understand the breed. You don't try to change it. So from the books to your old dog man who was telling you what to do and what not to do, and you blew it off. He was right. The books was right. All right? It's not bad. Just because I can't take two of my dogs to the park together and play fetch with them at the same time, or play with a rope with them at the same time without one of them getting mad at each other, doesn't mean my dogs are bad dogs, and it doesn't mean that I'm a bad person. I'll be a bad person if I knew my dogs were this way and I took them to the dog park anyways and kept trying to do it, and then having those fights happen or whatever the case may be, whatever happens. That's a bad person. That's a dog owner. That's making the dogs look bad. All right? So that goes to kind of understanding what type of breed you want. This breed is literally not for everybody. It's not for most people. Most people want that dog they can take to their family's house, you know, to the family out of town, you know, take it to the family reunion with them and let it run around and just, you know, hang out while they're, you know, on the other side of the property. And, you know, these aren't those type of dogs. These aren't those type of dogs where you just go running through the park without a leash and don't expect your dog to run off and chase. I'm saying, don't get me wrong. Things will go fine day after day after day. Then one day it's going to boom, go wrong. And then, you know, it's going to repeat. And then you'll go good, and then boom, it goes wrong again. Okay, so it's never going to be perfect. And the way these working breeds are set up, they're really already under the radar as is. So if you know it's not going to work out, if you know it's only a matter of time, then why keep putting them in that situation? There's no reason to try to play dog whisperer with this breed, okay? They are what they are, and they are just how they're supposed to be. It goes to respecting and understanding them. You have to respect and understand this breed. You have to. So if somebody they want a house full of dogs and a cat, you know, stuff like that, this breed may not be for you. Don't watch them American bullies online and thinking, oh, that's what I want, but with the American Pitbull Terrier, it's not the same. It's not the same. In fact, most bully owners, and this isn't to bash them, they have a goal in mind, I guess you could say. And most of them, as soon as their bully shows any type of aggression, it's gone. I mean, as soon as it even growls, you know? So it's completely different. Versus the American Pitbull Terrier, aggression isn't always bad. It's where you showing that aggression to. That's what I want to, you know, what triggered that aggression? What happened once the aggression was triggered? Those are all the things that I got to look at with my dogs before I say, oh no, too much aggression. You know, I need to see what's going on. What's the full full circle of it? So it's two completely different worlds. And again, it's not just American Pitbull Terrier. In this case, we're talking working breeds, period. All your working breeds. The drive, the energy, the confidence is different. It's different. It's like, and don't get me wrong, I guess this would be a bad example because they're not guard dogs either. That's a whole nother podcast, but these dogs are not guard dogs. American Pitbull Terrier is not a guard dog. Can it be trained? Yes, but is it would you be label it as your number one guard dog? No, I don't. No. For other reasons. And not to say they won't protect you or whatever, they will, but there's reasons why I wouldn't label one a number one guard dog. I don't even know if I'll put it in top 5. So with that said, it's like walking around all day with security. You know, it's like living with security. You know, like Imagine like, a millionaire or, the rappers or musicians, whatever, and they got security. And then every time they try to do something, whether it's just have a little fun or let loose or whatever, security jumping in, hold on, stop, wait. Or, no, back up, Imagine that with these dogs. All right. These dogs they're going to be on go all the time. All right. So it doesn't mean that every time they see something, they're going to attack it. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying as far as their confidence, as far as the drive, it's always going to be there. Even if your dog's running next to you with no leash, tail up and running fine and went straight past another dog, if you have one of those type dogs and he did that, then that's cool. That still goes to show what I'm saying. I promise you, when your dog went by there, tail was up, chest out, and he was fine. Like, I ain't worried about you as long as you don't come too close to me or try to, get in my owner's way or something like that. That's part of it. That's all part of it. And that's why I say it's a matter of time. I don't want people thinking that, this guy's saying I can't train my dog. No, people can train them, but there's certain things you can't change. And it's the people that's trying to change the dogs end up giving the dogs a bad rep on accident. I'm not going to say they do it on purpose. They had good intentions. They had good intentions, but it didn't work out. I've seen dogs from in person to online. All of y'all have seen it, I'm sure, where dogs are getting in fights with each other. And I'm talking just dogs in general. They're getting in fights with each other. And you see people, or even the police dogs, like I said, and you see people, once they're fighting, people don't know what to do. I mean, you get the old classic water hose spraying with water, and you get the old classic beat them with the frying pan. How many times y'all seen that? Like, they just grab the pan or the closest thing to them and just start beating the hell out of the dogs. And nothing ever happen? How many times have you seen the video of the dogs getting beat, and they still end up fighting? You know what I mean? So it doesn't work, but people still try. So, to all this crazy stuff, I mean, I done seen people, in videos online. It's crazy. Like, people even kill a dog because they were fighting and they couldn't stop them from fighting. It's crazy. I seen the police officers sick their dogs on people and then trying to call the dog off, and they can't. So now they're yanking the dog by his collar, trying to get him off the person's arm or leg, or they're doing the same thing, hitting him on the head with their hand and yanking him back at the same time, trying to get him off. And it blows my mind because these are working dogs. That's why I say they're loaded pistols with no safety. Trained or not trained, it doesn't matter. One day they're going to snap. And when I say snap, I don't mean, they snap and turn into the devil. No, they're going to do exactly what they're supposed to do. They're going to want to work. They're going to want to keep going. Whatever the case may be, whatever hits that trigger for them, one day it's going to happen, and they're going to love the hell out of whatever it, for some reason, this time they just love it and want to keep going. Whether it's the canine officer biting, and they can't the officers can't pull them off. That dog, for some reason, right now, just this point, just fell in love with his job all over again, type thing. That he just hit the switch. And it's crazy because we think we can, let's just breed that out, or let's just, keep training them and changing it. Or let's just, that dog ain't no good, you gotta kill it. Now, don't get me wrong, a lot of y'all know the rights, and a lot of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, and y'all, you know where I'm getting at. But again, we're going back for the new ones. And it's crazy Because there's a thing that's called a break stick, and it blows my mind because it's in the books. It's in the books. It's all over. So it's there. It's not something. It's not hidden. It's not something that that's under the table or nothing like that. Like this is in published books and stuff, and from back in the day. I mean, way back, years ago, and what they would do is you use that break stick. If your dog I'm talking any breed again, any working breed, your dog has grabbed something and you can't get it off, and it's simple. You just the break stick. You just kind of when a dog is biting something, the very back of their mouth is going to be a slight gap, and then you'll just stick that break stick in there and just kind of wiggle it. Just keep wiggling it, and eventually the dog is naturally going to do a regrip. It may not happen immediately, but it's going to happen a lot faster and easier than you beating that dog with a pen. So eventually the dog will try to regrip, and then boom, when it regrips, it lets go of whatever it's biting, and it grabs the stick. And then the dog doesn't want the stick, and then it realizes you have the stick, unless you have a people aggressive dog, which I honestly don't have those. But unless you have a people aggressive dog, the dog is just gonna notice you have the stick and let go, and you're holding it by the collar or holding it by whatever, and whatever's happening is under control. Your dog may still be mad or still keep trying to do what it's do, but it's not holding on to whatever it had anymore, and you can grab your dog or control your dog. I mean, this happens fast, and it doesn't hurt the dog at all. At all. Now, I'm not even saying like, oh, you may, puncture something, or you may, no. It does. I've never read or seen anything about it, ever, a dog getting hurt from a break stick, but I've seen and read and heard about dogs getting hurt from being beat by pens and stuff. I'm talking about like head after like the next day, you think the dog done really got in a serious fight, but really, the fight wasn't even, a fight like that. They just bit each other and just kept holding on, or whatever the case may be. But the dog ends up more beat up from the owner or the whoever beating the dog out, trying to beat the dog out of the fight. And that's ridiculous, because in our mind we're thinking, oh no, they're dogs fighting, whatever. But we don't know these dogs, they forget they're animals, all right? And for all you know, your dog, one of your dogs or your dog, whatever the case, however it happened with the two dogs or animals, let's say animals, because it could be any animals. Your dog and the animal, your dog could have felt threatened at one point. Maybe your dog felt that you were a threat at one point. So he or she was like, I got to protect him now. So in our mind, we're thinking, oh, they're just, he just wanted to bite him for no reason, and now they're fighting. It's not that easy. These are animals. They have senses. They have, there's so much more to it. So much more to it. These are animals, people. Animals. So you got to understand it's going to happen, and that's what you have to be prepared for when owning these dogs. And the best you can do is respect the breeds and understand the breeds. That's the best you could do. And if you do that, you'll naturally prevent incidents. Naturally. Of course, the outside world or somebody who doesn't own your breed won't understand. They won't. You can't raise a working breed the same way you raise the couch breed. Your smaller dogs that stay on the couch. Your Shih Tzus and stuff like that, I guess you could say. Your poodles and stuff. Don't get me wrong, the small dogs are fun too. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying is there's a difference. All right? There's a difference. So we have to quit bashing these dogs or people for having, oh, this dog got in a fight with some stray dog on the street or something like that, and then we start recording it, you see this. Instead, one, understand their animals, and two, let's educate on how to prevent this from happening, and at the same time, if it happens, how do we stop it? All right? I'm hoping it's as far, I mean, if you comment below if y'all know. I don't know if police officers or anything use brake sticks or anything for their dogs. I don't know. I have no idea. But I feel like that would be a great idea, at least for the canine unit. Or you never know, just for everybody to have one on them as far as the cops. You know, think about it. You have a nightstick or whatever, or a beating stick, or whatever, you know, they call it these days. You can always do one end of it, you know, turn it into the brake stick or whatever. So you can use, you know, so you don't have to add something extra to your belt. You're just modifying it. But just imagine. I done seen dogs get shot on, you know, online. I'm sure y'all seen the same thing. I done seen dogs get shot from, you know, trying to fight another dog or something like that, when all you had to do is use that brake stick. You know, we forget these are animals. It blows my mind because us as human beings can go bomb countries, or, you know, shoot each other, or fight each other, you know, have some type of way to let out our type of anger or aggression or feelings, but we expect our animals not to. That blows my mind. Like, that blows. So we're expecting these animals to be more intelligent than us, basically. They're supposed to know how to stay in tune and master their emotions better than us. That's crazy. I don't know if y'all heard that. That was a plane that flew over. But, yeah, no, that's crazy. That's crazy. So it starts with understanding. So again, I'm not trying to scare nobody away from this breed. I'm not trying to say this is the dangerous breed. That's not at all what I'm doing. Again, to be honest, I'm talking about the working breed in general. But the American Pitbull Terrier fits right into that. So just take that into consideration. Just take that into consideration, all right? So if you don't already own the breed and you're interested, or you feel like you have that passion for the breed and you're wanting to get into it, just keep that in mind. Instead of going through that whole phase of trial and error of trying to train it out of them, instead, why don't you go the route of understanding them? Understanding them, respecting them, and preventing. Okay? Once you go that route, you'll find things a little bit more easier for yourself and your dog. A little bit more easier for yourself and your dog. But at the same time, understand that nothing and nobody can set your dog up for a perfect life. Nobody and nothing. It's impossible. I don't care if you don't have, your dog is 10 years old, going on 11, and then one day he or she just, you know, even snapped at the new puppy y'all got. Before you start beating that dog or whatever, take some time to understand, like, well, he is a dog. He is getting older. He's in his way. You know, I tried to change him instead of understanding him. He's probably getting a little frustrated. I'm just saying, you never know. These are animals, all right? That's the main concept of this. These are animals. So understand, if you're not ready to take extra steps for these dogs, then the working breed period is not for you. If you're not willing to sit back and do your research and to have some understanding and to know that you have no responsibility in changing this breed or the breeds, then you can move forward. But you have to understand these things. You have to be willing to take your steps to preserve and to save these breeds. Because you can't just say, oh, I want to, I'm trying to save the breed, or I want a positive image on a breed, so I'm going to get this dog. That's not how that works. That's exactly how the bad image happened. You have to understand first. Do your homework. It's okay. I know back in the day they made it seem like a nerd. I know back in the day I was, I was that kid in grade school going to the library, renting out the dog books and everything on all breeds, not just bulldogs. I'm renting out anything that had a dog on the cover. I'm getting it. That was me. Everyone looking at me like, what? While they reading the Harry Potter or whatever the case may be. So, but it needs to be done, all right? It needs to be done. And a lot of us have to put down our pride. Don't hesitate to reach out, ask questions. All of us most likely have somebody in our family or neighborhood that's, considered the dog man. And whichever breed it may be, they just always had, whether it's a guy with a bunch of German Shepherds or something, you know what I mean? Reach out to them. Sit down, have a sit down, talk, listen. If that's the breed you're into. All right? So, yeah, I'm gonna cut this off now, so we don't go too long. Again, let me know what y'all are thinking. Don't hesitate to comment. If you want to hear my opinion on something, if you have an opinion on something, feel free to comment. I'm also wondering. Let me know what times are y'all watching these videos. Comment below. If you would like to see the new videos in the morning, or if you'd rather see them at night on the wind down or whatever, let me know. I'm curious, all right? Again, I appreciate everybody. I got a lot more stuff for y'all, all right? Like I said, I'm starting off very simple. I'm starting off at the very bottom, all right, guys? There'll be a lot of these videos coming. I got a lot of material coming. I haven't even hit the ideas, or I should say the stuff I have written down that I wanted to talk about. So there's a lot coming. I'm keep hitting these dogs, keep talking about these dogs, but I am let y'all know now we're gonna start hitting a little bit about life too, relating this stuff back around, all right? Because everything looks back around for me, and I know I ain't the only one. All right. Well, I appreciate y'all. Looking forward to see what y'all think of this podcast. Looking more forward to posting the next one. All right, y'all.